Good day, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to Leominster TV. This is Cityscope edition. I am here today with some special guests here, and we'll get to them real soon here, let them know what they are here for. I just hope everybody out there is enjoying the early spring that we're having today. And by the way, that's probably what we're going to talk about today is spring. And the sort of spring that we're talking about is not the spring that of the weather. We're talking about an organization that's called Habit for Humanity, and what they do is called the Alternative Spring Break. Now, it got my attention because I really wanted to know what an alternative spring break was. At this time of year, all these college students are going across the country, and they're going to these beautiful islands in paradise and enjoying the warmth of the sun and enjoying spring break from college. But today I have with me some special guests here, college students from Fitchburg State University, correct? Am I correct? Yes. And we are here to talk about alternative spring break. I was interested in it because I want to know what alternative spring break was all about. So I brought on today with me, I have Kelly to my right. She is the staff assistant of human resources at Fitchburg State University, and she's the alternative spring break advisor, and she's been with us for 5 years. Nice to have you here, Kelly.
Thank you. Thank you for having
And
us.
alongside her, ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 students from Fitchburg State, correct?
Yep.
Correct. We have David, who is a senior. He is a history major. It's his 3rd year doing the alternative spring break.
That is correct.
And he's the fundraising lead also. And we're going to get to that also. And next to him, we have Alex, who is a sophomore. She is a biology major.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yes.
And this is her 2nd year participating in the alternative spring break. And lastly, but not least, we have our rookie, who is a sophomore. His name is Skylar, and he's a film and video major. So this is probably interesting for you here, being inside the studio here at Leominster TV. This is kind of cool. And this is his 1st year of alternative spring break. So, Kelly, it came, I was really interested in this when we got to meet someplace, and I'm not going to name the place where we were at, but we got to meet and we talked about, you said, I want to know what alternative spring break was. And so give us, what is alternative? What is alternative spring break? Let the people out there know what we're talking about.
Alternative Spring Break is a group of 22 students from Fitchburg that they go through an application process. We travel to places usually in the south to help build houses in conjunction with Habitat for anybody who's in need.
Why is it alternative?
It's alternative to Cancun or Florida and just partying. So these students give up their spring break to actually go and do a service trip and help others.
So is this a club or just a bunch of kids going to warmer weather and enjoying a different part of the country?
It's a club. This is our 14th year at Fitchburg State having alternative spring break. We do have a little bit of fun while we're down there, but most of our day is filled with building houses or rehabbing houses.
So it's building houses, ladies and gentlemen, that's what they're doing. They're building houses. Instead of spending some time on the beach getting a nice tan, they're out there helping people and building houses. Yep. Now, how is the ASB, we're going to call it ASB, Alternative Spring Break, and the Habitat connected? How are they connected together? How does this go on? Can you answer that, David? You're the senior member here.
Let's hope. So Habitat for Humanity, what it does kind of like a collegiate challenge where they open up kind of an opportunity to a bunch of different universities or colleges. And what they do, they just kind of put the word out saying, hey, we're looking for volunteers for this build that we're doing, whether it's renovating a house or building a house. And every year, or I would say about every year, so 14 years, Fitchburg State has always sent a team down there. So that's essentially the connection that we have with Habitat for Humanity. We just work alongside them in restoring or building a different house in that area.
So when did this start actually for you? How do you get involved in something like this at the university? How do people get involved in this? Is it word of mouth, or how does it go?
So for me, it was really word of mouth. There was one service trip that I started on at the school that essentially was going to Nicaragua, but it fell through because funding. So I really wanted to do something with myself for spring break, and then somehow I'm thinking it was definitely word of mouth that I got word of it about what the school does. So I got in contact with Kelly, met her, she's phenomenal, and then it just, it went off from there of us trips and service trips and meeting people and having great experiences. So I just learned from other people. I think that's one of the biggest ways that you learn about the trip is just hearing other people.
That's great. And Alex, how many people, or is it just involving Fitchburg State University, or there's all kinds of schools in the Massachusetts area that does this?
So there are different schools around the country that participate in these alternative spring break trips. As David said, it's a collegiate challenge, so when we went last year, we worked alongside a lot of other schools. I know some kids from Purdue were there. There were a couple of schools from Connecticut, so it's really kind of chance. There's a bunch of different places around the country where Habitat for Humanity invites these college students to come for spring break, and basically whoever is lucky enough to go, we kind of go. We all work together as different schools, and we're all there for a common reason, helping other people. So
you are actually building houses. Is that what we're doing? Building houses.
Yes.
And the houses are funded by the government, or they're funded by the original, the prospective owners? How does that work?
The prospective owners do get an interest-free loan to do this.
Okay.
They're required to put in so many man-hours on their own house, so
Okay.
they help build alongside of us. And they also have to put in a number of man-hours on other people's Habitat houses. So they work right alongside with us, and also get an interest-free loan. Yep.
Is it hard to get students to participate in such an endeavor? I mean, is it something where the kids said, "Oh, I'd rather go to the beach," or they say, "Yeah, I'm there for it." So, what kind of places do we go to?
We have been to Mississippi since I've been doing this. Mississippi, we've been to Florida twice, Texas.
Not too far from the beach, I'm sure.
No, well, in Florida we were near the beach, yes.
Okay, all right, okay, good.
Yeah, so, yeah.
And that's it. So, a typical day. I'm gonna go to our rookie over here. He's never been here. This is Sky, ladies and gentlemen. He's a sophomore. He's a film and video major at the university, and this is your first year with the alternative spring break. So how does it feel for you to be able to join other people that you know nothing of this, or you're just going as, let's see what happens?
Well, it's awesome. So a fun fact is that I actually drove them last year to the airport, and so seeing the before and after expressions, and everybody was so happy that they did what they did on the way back. Granted, a lot of them were sleeping, but they were really excited, and they got really close with each other over the trip, and I was like, that's kind of what I was hoping to do or get out of it.
So how much time, David, how much time do you actually take part in the building of the houses? Is it a week, a month? How long does it take?
So with this the collegiate challenge that we do, we're usually down there for a week, or around maybe like 5 or 6 days of straight building. And depending on the work day or where we're at, sometimes the work day can go from like 7 in the morning to 12 to avoid the sun, or just 7 to 5. And we're essentially just working there as long as they need us, just for that period of time that we're down there.
And Kelly, how many, I mean, you've been doing this for over 5 years now. How many students are actually on site that actually working on the house?
It depends on the area. When we were in Florida, like Alex said, we worked alongside with some other schools. So some places, they put in a requirement of how many people. Where we're going this year, it's 25, so we have 24. We fit in perfect. From our school, it's 22 students and 2 advisors that go.
Right from Fitchburg State?
Yes.
22 kids
Yep.
actually from Fitchburg State?
Yes.
And you're all going to work together?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, here's a question I'm sure that people will want to know is that, and I would want to know, is that you 25 people are out there, maybe none of you ever held a saw or a hammer or something like that, and they say, okay, David, go over there and cut me this piece of wood over there, and now are there like supervisors that show you how to do this, or you got to take a crash course in building, you know, right away? I gotta study. I gotta go to Barnes and Noble, get the book for dummies here. Yep. How does that work?
So how it works is basically we have people there that work with Habitat for Humanity. They all volunteer their time. They're phenomenal people. And they come to us at the beginning of each day, and they give us the tasks that we're going to do. So they're kind of like, all right, who wants to hang out on the roof today? All right, who wants to put in some windows today? You kind of pick what you want to do. You work with each other, and you're like, all right, let's go. We're going on the roof. So we'll get up there on the roof, and they're just like, all right, this is how you shingle it, and they'll show you step by step, and they'll be like, all right, you try it. Come on, let's go. Like, don't be shy. And next thing you know, you're swinging a hammer, you're shingling the entire roof. I think we finished a roof in like a day, and none of us had ever obviously shingled a roof before. So they'll basically, they'll lead you, they'll guide you, they'll tell you everything you need to know, but you just get a hang of it, I guess. I guess it was.
So
meant to be
Kelly, the
carpenter.
typical day when this starts, I'm sure it starts in the morning, and is there like a start time and an end time, a break time, all that kind of stuff? Like, how does that work?
Yep, they usually start fairly early in the morning, around 7 or 8 in the morning. So we get these guys moving
Get
and
'em out of bed.
get them out of bed, and
Who does the coffee run? Okay, we'll get to
Me,
that
that
after
was
this.
She does the coffee run. Yep.
yeah. So we get on site and we meet. We typically have a little meeting with all the building managers, and we just kind of go through the day, and then we start in the morning, we pick our sites, we start building, and then we usually have a break time and a lunch time, and then towards the end of the day, we're finished.
And what do we do for like an evening exercise or evening society, social activity? What do we do?
So again, that more or less depends on where we are in the area. Like again, since we were in Florida last year, the beach was always close by. So when we're done with the workday, we could always relax and then go to the beach, or just maybe like go across the boardwalk and buy souvenirs or get lunch. But depending on where we are, but most of the time it's mostly afterwards. We all sometimes go out to eat together as a huge group.
We eat a lot of food.
We eat a lot of food. We hang out. If there's fun things to do, we'll do it together. Maybe kayaking we can do as a team, or other fun activities that we can do. So it's not just work. It's fun times as well.
So each person that's going, you say there's 20-something people from Fitchburg State University that's going now, and David, you are the fundraising lead.
Yep.
Give us, let us know what that means, and what do these kids have to do to actually, do they have to raise money to go do this?
So yeah, again, so sponsoring a trip like this isn't the cheapest of things. So it does require some money. So we kind of set a small payment amount for the students to do, and it's not massively high, so it's not impossible for the student to pay, but it's enough so they can kind of fundraise for themselves, and they can do it whether through personal fundraisers, or we give them letters they can send out to businesses as well. They can maybe get some donations from people, and also we do team fundraisers as well. We do sometimes restaurant fundraisers. We do we did a pottery night, we did a paint night one time, we did a raking thing where we just picked up leaves for people for a certain amount of time, and they would just donate money for that. So we come up with a lot of inventive ways of raising money for this.
Yeah.
So for each person, go ahead.
We have a fundraiser coming up next week on Thursday at the 99
Yep.
from 4 o'clock till 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell everybody.
Feel free
Shameless
to come
plug,
check it
shameless
out.
plug,
Yeah,
shameless.
At the 99, we will be there. Eat your food,
And so much money goes.
Yeah.
It's
so
like
we'll
it's
get
like
a
a dough
percentage
raiser.
of the money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's exactly it.
So, this is an interesting topic to talk about, because you see college kids in their prime, and they're 17, 18 years old, and they're relinquishing the beautiful sunshine and all that kind of, and what you see on TV, the spring break, and you guys are going down there and really doing for humanity, and I think it's impressive to know that. Back in my day, I never heard anything like that, but this is great to do something like that. And how has it? Kelly, I know you've been doing it for a while, and you keep on doing this, which is great. You're blessed to be able to do that.
Yeah.
How has it impacted your life and all you students? How has it impacted your life doing something like this?
Me personally, I've always been one that likes to help give back to the community. So since doing this, I started out as just a 1-year advisor, and then it kind of morphed into every year. So now I would never give it up for anything. It's great to see these guys. I'm so proud of them that they give up their spring break to go and help others. They do come back totally changed people. They come back, they want to help, they want to do more, they want to reapply. There's a local build in Fitchburg that's coming up that's starting on Henry Street, so I have some of them that are interested in help, building on that house. It's great. It's great to see them. They come together as a team. They become lifelong friends. I stay in contact with people that 5 years ago I went with. Some of them came to visit me today from Virginia. It's just a very close knit, and it's just great to see them give back to people.
No, that's great. That's really good. Now after this year, David, you're a senior, so you're not.
Yep.
You won't be able to do this again, right?
Unfortunately.
You're going to turn the job over to Alex, and then the Skylar, and they're going to be able to do it.
Yep.
Right. So it's a 4-year course that you get to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So Alex, give me an example of one particular moment that really has impacted you personally. Like, how did this impact? What did this do for you?
So I think when I came into college, I was really looking, I wanted to get involved with Habitat for Humanity, and I got an email one day that was like, oh, apply. So I was like, you know, that would be cool, something to do over spring break. Then you hear your friends saying like, oh, let's hang out over spring break, and it's like, oh, did I really make the right decision? So when I was on this spring break trip, there were people there that I'd never even talked to before, and I think a moment where I really realized that I made a right decision was when we were working alongside one of the women who was receiving the house that we were building, and you know, she was just talking to us like, you know, it's really great that you guys are able to do this, and she was so thankful and just like showed so much appreciation to us that we were able to take out our time to work on a house that she was going to get for her family. And that was like, I've never had that kind of experience before, and just being able to grow those friendships with those people, I've never felt closer to a group of people than on that trip. And every night we would go back to our site, and we would just be like, you know, like today this person did a great job with this person did a great job with this, and it just showed the kind of people that I was with, and it was like I was surrounded by phenomenal people, and for me, I was like, oh, I'm definitely going next year. So
That's great. So Skylar, you were talking earlier about you were the taxi driver that brought these people to the airport and picked them up. So there had to be a certain kind of glue that hit you and said, wow, I got to do this. And is that what happened? Tell us about that.
So I'm in a Greek life at Fitchburg State, and one person in particular, Brett Abraham, he was more than excited about it. Like, that was his passion. He put that before any other club, and like his passion was kind of rubbed off on me. And when he asked for someone who works at the school to be able to drive, I'm like, hey, I work at the school, I can drive them. So I did, and I actually stayed an extra night, house and clothes on Thursday. I stayed until Friday, and then basically just drove them and then left, came back a day early, then picked them up at 2 in the morning.
So now, Kelly, how did the Habitat for Humanity, how do you guys get connected to say, okay, there's going to be a house being built here, a house being built here? How does that come through the process of being able to do something like that? How does it come to your attention?
What we do is we sign up. Usually the Habitat chapter will send us a list of sites that are available for the week that we're going. It will have limitations of, like I said, you know, minimum of 25 people, maximum of 65 people. And we go through and we pick a site that sounds interesting to us, and then we sign up, and that's where we go. Yep.
So you all make your way down, and we are leaving when?
We're leaving the 11th, next Saturday.
Leaving the 11th next Saturday.
Yep.
And you're going to be gone for a week, from Saturday to Saturday?
Saturday to Saturday, yep.
So there's going to be another one person that's going to pick you guys up at the airport.
There'll be another one, yeah.
There's going to be another Skylar picking you guys up at the airport and saying, hey, this sounds like fun.
Yeah.
So when you're in school and all your students are there and you're studying everything else, and there's just something that, you know, comes across, and you say, hey, what are you doing for spring break? Hey, what are you doing for spring break? And you say, oh, I'm going down to do this. Does the other person get the attention? Does it light up and say, wow, that's kind of cool?
Oh, yes.
Is that what happened, Dave?
Oh,
Is that
yeah. I would say most of the time, because people like, well, most times when it comes to most students, they can't really go really, really far for places. They're like, where are you going to spring break? I'm going to go home and visit my family. I'm like, I'm going to Texas. And then they're like, what? How? Like, and I'm just all like, I'm going to build a house for a week. What did you do? Like, it kind of grabs people, like the idea of going someplace else, but also not just going with a purpose too. So that's what really hooks people onto a trip like this.
So Skylar, you are the new team member. You know, as a new member, what are your expectations from this trip? This is going to be the first time you're going to be on a roof. You know, first time you're going to be, first time you're going to be banging nails.
I actually have a lot of building experience.
Oh, good.
So I've built decks, so shingled roofs, and so I figured I might as well put my old knowledge to the test, you know, and actually do it.
So what's your expectation? What do you think this is getting? I mean, what are you expecting out of this? I mean, after hearing them talk in your car when you picked them up, and something must have went through your mind and said, wow, that sounds really cool. What's your expectation? What do you think is going to happen for you?
I'm hoping it definitely makes an impact on the people of the poor and less needy people of Texas. I'm hoping I can help them out, and then I hope I can get close with the team, come back with a worthy experience that I can talk about for years.
Now, Kelly, is there more and more kids reaching out to this kind of program year by year that you have seen in the last 5 years? I mean, does it seem like there's an abundance of kids that really want to try something like this?
Yeah, I think word of mouth is getting out there. It's, you know, slowly, but we have about 40 to 50 people that apply every year, and we only pick 22.
Oh, really?
Yep. So people are very excited. We go through an application process. We, we choose our team, and then we work together all year long. We do a lot of team building and play some games. We meet every week just to get to know each other before we go.
So it's not like a tryout.
No.
That's right. You're just picking the right
Right, the
group
right
of
fit,
kids
yeah.
that want to come out and do that.
Right, yeah.
David, how has this impacted your college experiencing regarding community services? I mean, how has that impacted you?
Well, I mean, like, the first time I went on the trip, I was kind of apprehensive because I'd never done anything like this for school before. I've been on other, like, service trips before outside of school. But as soon as I went on this first trip, I was hooked. And what really got me was the idea that when we go on a trip like this, we're thinking we're there to kind of liven up the community to make it better. But the flip side is, when we go on this trip, the trip changes us just as much as we're there to try to change,
That's
make the
awesome.
atmosphere better for them. So we always come back with a different attitude, a different mindset of what it means to kind of, what the idea of community service means. So it kind of changes you and gets you hooked of what it means to kind of give back.
So are we actually starting from ground up when we get there and start this house? Is the foundation poured and just ready to go? Or is there like a wait period, or what do we have to do?
Generally, Habitat has people that come down for continuous weeks. So there'll
Okay.
be different kinds of groups
So
that
there's
come
going to be
down.
a different
Right.
section that has to be done when you guys get there.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it
Because-
just depends on where they are in the building process when we get there. Last year, like Alex said, we did roofing. We did a lot of window framing. And when we were in Mississippi, we did a lot of rehab for an older woman who her house was still boarded up from Katrina. That was
Yeah.
years before. Her windows were all boarded up, so we took all the covering off the windows and re-windowed, made a new deck. So we rehabbed her house a little bit.
Do we actually get to see the owners of the house on site?
Yes.
They do come on site.
Yep. They come on site and they work with us. They help us. Yep. It's great.
It's really interesting. I mean, it grabbed my attention, Kelly, when you talked about this, and I didn't know what alternative spring break. I mean, I never went to college, so I heard about spring break all these years. But for something for you youngsters to be able to go out and do something like for your community, and for people you don't even know, that's that to me that's a great way to show you're giving back. You're actually giving back. You got something and you're giving back. Even though you're not no knowledgeable carpenter or anything like that, you learn as you are on the job. And I look at it and saying, that'd be interesting to try out. Do you have like Dave? This is going to be your third year going.
Yep.
Was there any indication that you said I'm dropping out, or you said no, I wanted to come back and do this again?
As soon as I flew down there and I met the team, I always knew it was something I wanted to stick with and follow through with. And yeah, I just got hooked as soon as that was there. Just being in a different atmosphere, and again, meeting the people who will be living this house that you're building for them. It's a very life-changing experience for me personally.
And the same thing for you, Alex? The same thing?
It was honestly one of the best experiences I've had this far. My favorite college experience by far. It's just such an empowering thing to know that you're taking your spring break and you're going and you're helping other people and you're making friendships that are going to last all throughout college. It's really just, it makes you really think about what you want to do, how you want to live your life every day. And I took what I learned last year at Alternative Spring Break, and when I came back from Florida last year, I kid you not when I tell you I was a changed person. Everyone always says that, but it was just like I knew that I wanted to apply again next year, and I wanted to start doing more community service. I did a bunch of community service over the summer after that, and seeing the change that I'm able to make as a person and as a group, even more of a change, it just made me want to keep going and doing more. So.
Well, there's one person you definitely changed your mind of is your taxi driver over here, Skyler.
Got him hooked.
He drove you guys to the airport and back, and it actually changed his life, and now he wants to do this.
Yep.
And that's how these things work. I mean, it's something that's interesting, and I'm sure that if, like you said, there's like 50 people that sign up, and you only can take half of them.
Yep.
So it's really productive. It's a great thing. And how has the alternative spring break, how has it grown over the years that you've been with us, Kelly, that you've been doing this? How has it grown?
Well, when I first started, like I said, I was only supposed to be on the team 1 year. We had less interest, and as the years go, you know, we get more applications every year. So I think it's, like I said, it's word of mouth. People are talking about it. All these guys talk about it to their
Yeah.
friends, and then they all apply. So it's grown quite a bit, and I expect over the next few years it's going to just keep getting bigger.
You know, it's something that when you talk about something like that, where students from a college, you know, here in little Fitchburg, little town of Fitchburg, and they get this idea that, you know, yeah, let's go build these houses, let's go do this, let's go
Yeah.
do that. And then how do you change, you know, these kids' minds, say, yeah, we're going to do this, and instead of saying, I'm going to wear that, I'm going to wear my little bikini, I'm going to the beach. No, but I'm going to go bang some nails. I mean, I'm impressed by the fact that, you know, you can get young students to be able to think and properly want to do something good for the community. And I mean, it's a give and take. I mean, you guys are giving something, maybe something's going to come back to your life some days and say, wow, isn't that great? You know, all the stuff that we did. And Kelly, you know, how, you know, from the beginning, you know, I've known you the longest, but how did you get involved in this from the start, from the get-go?
Well, let's see. I've been with Fitchburg State for 10 years. This will be my 10-year anniversary this year. And I've always wanted to get involved with the students somehow. So you know, I was there a few years, and then this opportunity came up. I just happened to see, you know, apply to be an advisor, and I decided to give it a try to get more involved. And now, you know, over the years of doing this, I also advise the volleyball team there. I see these guys walking, you know, all over campus, and I know a majority of the students now, and it's great to be able to say, hey, how you doing, you know, and they come visit me in my office, and David actually works in my office, so
Awesome.
Yeah.
yeah, so it's, you know, it's lifelong connections for me too. I have my own kids at home, but I feel like I have this giant extended family of students and past students that, you know, will always be in my life.
That's great. So, you know, we're running out of time here, but before I get one more question asked me. So how many houses are being built at this time, you know, every year? I mean, is there, I mean, I know you people going down to do a house someplace. I mean, are there other areas that is being doing the same thing? How many houses do you think are being built?
I think it's they're all over. The Collegiate Challenge and just Habitat in general build all over the place. Last year there was 3 houses, right?
Yep.
3 houses under construction in our area, but they're all over the country. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I want to thank you, Kelly, for showing up here today with these 3 fine students here. You really made an impact on their lives, and I'm sure that they're going to carry this on for the rest of their lives also.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
again, Kelly, thank you.
Thank you.
We have David, we have Alex, and we have Skylar, who's going to really learn a lot of things here coming down for
Yeah.
the. He's actually driving down the turnpike this time.
Yeah.
He's actually going for the ride down there. And what place are we going to?
We're going to Laredo, Texas.
Laredo, Texas. Have we checked out the sites? Have we know what's going on down there? Any good place to eat?
Yeah, we
Oh,
found
there's lots of
Oh yeah,
places.
there's going to be 3-pound cinnamon rolls, so I
San
knew right
Antonio.
then.
Yeah.
That was-
Laredo, Texas.
Yeah,
Huh?
Laredo, Texas.
Are we going to be able to
yeah.
ride any horses down there while we're there?
I wouldn't mind doing that. We'll
I'm
I would
cool with
ride a
that.
horse.
Cool.
we'll have to-
Kayak the Rio Grande. We
yeah,
can do that.
kayak in the Rio Grande. That's
Eat some tacos while we're there. We're going to be
Yes.
right next to Mexico, so I'm expecting big things.
All
I'm
the time.
expecting
Awesome.
Spanish food.
Yeah,
because that's
the
my favorite
Spanish
food. You know what? That's all I need.
It's exciting. You know, you're making me want to go and do something like that. I really want to go and do something like this. But ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Lumstead TV and myself, your host, Ray Richard, today, I want to thank Kelly, David, Alex, and Skylar, students from the Fitchburg State University here and the city next door to us. And it really is a great thing that you people are doing. I really appreciate your time and effort coming over here and bringing the word out to these people what alternative spring break is. I told you, ladies and gentlemen, that we were going to talk about the spring that's coming on, the early spring, but this is a different kind of spring.
Yep.
It's a spring break for these people here. They're going to go out and try it. They're going to help people out in their upcoming life. So again, thanks to for all of you. Thanks again, Kelly, for bringing the students on board. I wish you all the luck.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Wish you the
Thank you
best.
very much.
And maybe maybe I can get back when you guys
When
get
we
back.
come
Maybe we
back.
can
We'd
have
love to be here.
the final. You know,
That'd
let
be
us know
great.
exactly how we did, and take some pictures. Maybe we show some pictures of what you guys actually did. Does that sound good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds
Okay.
Thank you for having us.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for enjoying our show today with Lumstead TV. Hope to be back again with the final outcome of what they do down there in Laredo, Texas. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Till the next time, this is Lumstead TV, Cityscope. Till the next time, thank you.